Hello there. One thing that does really interest me is in the subject of diabolism and of witchcraft, because I really consider them to be pretty much one and the same for me, at least, is the relationship between the ostensibly Christian and that which is much older than Christianity and monotheism. And so I think this is a very interesting subject. It has this sort of like unresolved nuance to it, which I think is very important. It reminds me of the sort of unresolvedness of folklore and fairy tale and a lot of myths, actually. I think it's good to be able to hold that kind of unresolvedness in things. It allows things to process and work and ferment in a way. And I think that's a very important thing. But there is this sense that there are things which we receive through the Christian tradition, for instance, which we don't get from other places. And whether these things are actually from it or through it from a previous time, well, it's sometimes difficult to unravel the threads. But the point is, this is where we find the stuff. This is where we find the substance. Yeah. And I find these sorts of things very interesting. So I think it's very important, personally, to go through the whole thing of looking into traditions and looking into them actually as we receive them, yeah, and see what we can find in them, you know, find what we can actually find in different things. So when we read about fallen angels, what do we mean? When we read about the Nephilim, what do they mean? Because these things all come into witchcraft. Yeah. What do these things actually mean? What are we talking to? You know, who are we communicating with? Because the most basic thing you can do is approach the spirits directly and form relationships with the spirits directly. That's the most important thing. And to, as far as one can, learn directly from the spirits. And so that's pretty much what I wanted to say in this video. I think they're interesting, essential areas actually, but they really relate to our relationship to the spirits and finding out who we're talking to, in a sense, because that's a really interesting question somehow. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching.